Sharp Game here. Welcome to another episode coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com. And today I'm going to be talking about how to hustle and win, how to really make some shit happen, man. You know, how to really get out of the rut or put yourself into a better position in life. I mean, how to really live your life on your own terms without being so stressed and so frustrated and so miserable for a lot of people. Because, a lot of people, they hate their jobs and they don't like the way they live. They don't like the person that they with. I mean, a lot of people going through a lot of difficult situations. And tough decisions have to be made at times. That's not going to stop. And things happen in life, but only thing you can control is how you respond. You can't control what happens outside of you. And you can't really control other people. But you can control how you respond. That's the only thing you can control. So I'm going to tell you what I did. And it's taken me a long time to get to this point. And I still have a lot of learning to do. Because you're always learning. Because either you're growing or you're dying. There's no neutral position in life. Either you're growing or you're dying. But the first thing you have to realize, as I did the hard way, is when it comes to people, the quality of the people you have around you, you're only as strong as the people that you have around you. So you got to check your circle. The people that you probably look up to or the people that influence you. Got to check your circle. See how strong your circle is. See what they do on a day-to-day or weekly basis. Are they getting better? Are they growing? Are they just been doing the same shit for the past 10, 15, 20 years? If so, you need to find some new friends to hang around. But because the thing you have to realize is most people are like little slaves. They'll pretty much say and do and act on anything that's attached to a benefit or some type of material gain. And if you go out into the public or go to your job or any place on your free time, the way people interact with each other is very tacky, trashy, and sometimes it can get even violent. This is why, and I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about this. This is going to lead up to my point. You have to really know how to know and how to understand how people function in American society. Now, when you go to other countries, that's different. They function differently in their society as well. But I'm going to just talk about America. People in American society are like little slaves. This is why if you ask some people questions, how they feel about certain things, they can't tell you what they think. They're telling you what they saw or what they heard in most cases. And a lot of times, some people just don't want to talk about anything that's controversial or anything that's going to somehow embarrass them or make them feel uncomfortable. So it's like you can't really talk to anybody. This is why if you really want to win, if you want to really take massive action and see some results, you're going to have to go approach everything like completely in reverse, like counterclockwise. You're going to have to approach things completely different the way the average person would in American society. Because, see, you have to understand, most people like the status quo. Most people don't want to change anything. They like it the way it is. They're comfortable because they've been so comfortable for years now. And if you come in with a new idea, they're not trying to hear that. They want things to stay the way it is. So regardless of how much drama you might see on television or on the internet, they don't want things to change. Most people want things to stay the way it is because they see it as, because they're selfish. As long as they're living somewhat comfortable or things are in control, forget everybody else. They don't care. And I have some family members that's like this, and you probably have some family members just like this too, family and friends. As long as they're living the way they would like, the hell with everybody else. And sometimes you can tell when you talk to some of them. They'll have a completely different perspective on everything. And it doesn't matter what it is. They'll justify anything. They'll justify any crime, even if it's on camera. This is why if you try to do anything or have any type of success, it's best for you to keep it to yourself. You have to be more of an action taker and talk less. So you gotta just don't say anything to a lot of people. I mean, you can tell your circle of friends what you up to, but even some of them, you can't tell what you up to because most people are so negative. They'll kind of kill your dreams. They'll try to talk you out of doing it in most cases. And this is why a lot of guys and girls have such a hard time accomplishing anything, because as soon as they meet somebody with some type of opportunity or it could be anything, anything that's positive, they'll go back to their circle of friends, peers, family members, etc., and they'll say something negative or try to talk them out of it, and they usually end up succeeding. This is why a lot of things don't get done, because most people are very negative. Most people don't believe that they can do anything outside the norm, outside of the status quo. They rather sit on the side and clap their hands like cheerleaders. Like, they don't want to be trendsetters. They don't want to be in front of the crowd. They don't want to be on stage. They don't want to really travel outside of America. Most people don't want to do stuff like that. Most people don't want to have their own tailored clothes. Most people don't want to have their own unique style. Most people just want to follow. So this is what you have to know when you get out there, when you're socializing with people. Most people just want to follow what's always been going on forever, as far as their family goals, their grandparents, their fathers, their mothers, or great grandparents. They just want to follow. They don't want to do anything different outside of that, for the most part. Now, there's some 20-year-olds that's coming up now. They don't want no parts of the status quo, for the most part. They don't care nothing about that shit. They don't care nothing about your religion. They don't care nothing about who your favorite politician is. The hell with all that shit. And they dislike them, so people in society dislike them so much they rename them and call them millennials. So they don't care about your religion, or they don't care what you believe. They just want to be successful in doing whatever they want to do. They don't care about if you're black or white, for the most part. You know, even though it's no absolutes when it comes to that. But the people that I grew up with in my generation, I mean, they status quo to the core. So this is why you have to outthink, outsmart, navigate, and really get around a lot of obstacles in your way, because you really can't get around it, especially if you're a non-white person. If you're a non-white person, especially if you're black or African American, whatever you want to call yourself, you're gonna have a completely different experience from the average white guy. See, the average white guy knows that there's a lot of double standards. This is worldwide. See, I've traveled around the world. So the double standard is everywhere. There's no way to run. You have to either go through it or go around it. See, the average white guy knows this. This is why if you're a non-white person, especially if you're a African American or black person, or any person of African descent, it's going to be very difficult for you. It's not going to be easy. You know, it's going to be very difficult for you to accomplish what the average white guy accomplishes within the same amount of time. I haven't seen it done like that before. I've yet to see it happen like that. Because I've been around people from all walks of life. From the richest to the poorest. Even to the white guy that's in the trailer park. Even if he's a hillbilly. Even to the multi-millionaire. The athletes, entertainers, people from other countries, Japan, Australia, Mexico, Korea, Dubai. I've been around. I've met people from all walks of life. So, see, when I speak from my experience. I'm not speaking for someone that's read a couple books or someone that's got advice from his friend about what happened when he went to a certain part of the world. I'm speaking from my experience. And I've seen that some of the comments people have been leaving over the past, 2 weeks. I don't check comments very often because I expect a certain amount of negativity from some people, because I know that there's a lot of young people that's on the internet, and being that you're in the 20s or maybe younger than that, or a teenager, I can tell based on the comment you left around how old are you and your level of thinking, if you're even thinking at all. Because, see, a lot of people can't put aside their feelings when it comes to certain issues. Because this is why a lot of people are like slaves. Because when they speak, they get all emotional because they're emotionally attached to whatever topic they might respond to. See, an intelligent person can put aside how they feel and give a thorough and intelligent response to the question. But if you're young, I don't really expect you to be able to do that, because that comes with time and living your life and experience. And a lot of people have also been conditioned to behave in certain types of ways as well. And I understand that because I used to be in the military. So I understand this down to the core, like science. It's a science. You know, it's kind of like if you look at the television or the internet and you might be looking at a video and some cop might have beat somebody up. You know, any normal thinking person, when they look at that video of somebody getting shot, that does something to you. If you're a rational human being, I would say. Now, if you're looking at a video and you see somebody being shot and killed right in front of your face, and you're sitting down at the computer at your home looking at this video for 5-10 minutes, and if that doesn't do anything to you, maybe you're a sociopath or a psychopath. Because any human being on this planet, when they look at a video like that of somebody being killed, that does something to them. It's supposed to. And if it doesn't, you're probably a sociopath or a psychopath. Now, I'm not a doctor, but any psychiatrist would co-sign me with that statement I just made. And this is a part of the problem in society as well, because people are being bombarded with information, and so much fear is being pumped in society, and that's part of the reason why a lot of people act the way they do, and that's a part of the reason why they respond the way they do, because a lot of people become numb after a while. They don't, because you have to realize most people don't really think. They take things at face value. If that's what it is, they roll with it. Because the side that's winning in their perception, that's what side they're going to be on, regardless of what happens. Because if you're a talented person or the person that's in power, and if that person does something that's mean and awful and horrible, they'll give them a pass. And then they'll give another person a pass. And another person a pass. But when it's my turn, they change the rules. And this is where the double standards come into play at. Because as long as the person is in power and has talent, they'll give that he or she a pass all day long. As long as the person entertains them, or as long as the person has talent or in power or in the position of authority, they'll give the person a pass all day long. And when you're out here, this is what you really have to deal with. And there's no way to run, because you're going to run into it. Because if you're trying to be the best at what you're trying to do, as far as your career, or maybe you want to start a business, or maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, and if you want to be the best, if you want to be on the top of the pyramid, so to speak, you're going to run into it. And you're going to have to be able to outthink, outsmart, navigate, and really maneuver in such a way where it's like, people don't even see you coming. You're going to have to stay ahead of the game as much as possible. And this is how you really win in society. To win in society, you really have to know what people are thinking before they do it. You have to anticipate what people are going to say and do before they even realize it. And that's called, in the military, they call it social engineering. And the government, the mainstream media, does this every day. So once you understand what the mainstream media and the government is doing, then you understand people, and you can anticipate what they're going to do and what they're going to say in advance, at least 90% of the time, because most people have the herd mentality. They're like little slaves. As long as there's some type of benefit or some type of material gain attached to whatever group of people, or as long as the group of people, or it could be one person, is in a position of authority, or he might be associated with a group of people that's attached to a certain amount of resources, or he might have talent, or he might be in power. Most people are gonna warm up to that side. Most people they're gonna gravitate towards that side of the fence. 95%. Damn near. Because, and a wise man once told me, you really have three types of people in this world. You have the 70%ers, which is most people in the population. These are the people that whine and complain, the people that are like cheerleaders, the people that don't want to change, they're comfortable, they don't want to be no trendsetter. They like things being the way it is, but they really are full of fear. So those are the 70%ers. The 27%ers are the people that make some shit happen. These are the people that, for the most part, are down to earth, easygoing, hard workers. They do whatever it takes. They don't take no for an answer. If they can't go through you, they'll go around you. And these are the people that, some of these people that you should want around you. The 27%ers. And the 3%ers are the owners. They're the creators. They're the people that start big Fortune 500 companies. Even though some of the 27%ers are owners as well, like small businesses or whatnot, or work from home, or offers, speakers, etc. But the 3%ers, they change the world. They're like founders of the big Fortune 500 companies like G4S, Microsoft, Apple. Companies like that change the world. So these are just some things you have to be aware of, because nothing changed in my life until I really stopped worrying about how people thought about me and how they felt about me, and plus until I learned how people think. So that's when things really changed. That's when I really started to see massive results. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. Go to chooseyourrelationships.com. I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Leave your comments below. Until next time, Sharp Keem is out. Peace.